Less than 1 month left till Christmas time, and if you haven't prepared your Christmas cards yet, then it's a great time to do it right now with me. For this, we will need pencil, eraser, a cap, watercolors, white gouache, paintbrushes, and an A6 size papers. We will do today 4 different Christmas cards, so we will need 4 watercolor paper of the size A6. For those of you who are for the first time here, my name is Alla, I'm a sketch illustrator and watercolorist, and from 2020 I'm an art teacher too. In today's art tutorial, as I mentioned, we will paint 4 different postcards. And first postcard, we start with some lights, some Christmas lights. You have to look something ground that you have in the house and that you can draw several circles. You can use compass perfectly if you have one. If not, then anything round will work perfectly over here. You don't have to follow along with 5 light bulbs, but you can do it 3 only, or you can do even 6 or 7. Just take your time for how many you wish. After I do the drawing in pencil, I erase with a kneadable eraser to lighten up the lines. And I take a paintbrush, a bigger one. I use my synthetics Da Vinci number 8 Nova Synthetics. And with this I start to color in one coloring the light bulbs. Pay attention that I paint the light bulb over the line that we have drawn earlier. So I paint a little bit more than the space we have drawn. And I also leave white spaces for the highlights. If you wish, you can follow along with the same colors as I do. If not, you can choose any colors from your palette. I use my 36 pens watercolor palette White Night, but I actually use the basic colors that any palette have. For example, first colors like yellow, red, or green you can find in any palette. The only color that maybe you cannot find in your palette is this kind of pink, that it is a quinacridone rose from my White Nights palette. But if you don't have it, you can just mix up any violet color you have with some red, and you will get this beautiful color. I apply the hair dryer to dry the work because I will follow along with the second layer. The first layer is done. On the second layer, pay attention that I apply the color only within the round circle that I have drawn earlier. I don't go over it. The first layer and colors that were applied on the first layer, we applied it a little bit more over the bulb, mainly because we wanted to recreate this kind of vibe or uh, feeling that we have a reflection from the lighting of the bulb. And now with a darker tone we apply the uh, bulb itself, and I have applied here not only yellow colors, but I also used some ochre colors and raw sienna. Raw sienna is a little bit lighter and cooler than ochre color. It is a little bit darker, sorry. Then for red color I used the same cadmium red as I used on the first layer, but later on I will add some English red color. Meanwhile the round circle is still wet. For example, we used some wet on wet technique here for getting some darker touches and that the colors start to mix up straight on the paper. And then with cadmium red I'm just filling it with color and manage that the colors of cadmium red and English red to mix up in one color. Then I use here and once again light green color, but in this light green I will apply some dots of green, darker green color. If you have applied any green color that is darker than mine, and you want to create a darker feeling of this bulb and to recreate some shades, then you can use some blue colors into the green. and it will look also beautifully. So here now I add the touches of green. If your green is dark enough, then you can add some dark blue colors. And now I follow along with quinacridone rose and adding more color in it. For the darker color, for the darker side, what I will do, I will use some violet color that I used for the last bulb that I painted earlier. Now I take some violet color to add some textures and to make these bulbs sparkling with different colors, with quinacridone rose and with violet color. And for the last bulb I used only violet color to apply it on it and to make it a little bit darker. Pay attention that also the highlights that I have left in white spaces earlier, I now use to paint more and leave less of those or make an interesting form for those. So you can adjust your highlights too. If you feel like you have too many highlights, you can paint over those. Over here in this violet color, I just follow along the lines and add darker color, more color and less water into the shades to make it darker. Drying the work with a hair dryer, and now with the black color or with Payne's gray, whatever color you have, we will paint the black details of the bulbs over here. Little by little, we don't forget to leave some white spaces to recreate the highlight. If somehow you have forgot to leave some white spaces, don't worry, you can leave it without white spaces, without the highlight if it is for your first time you paint. But if you have a white gouache or white tempera, you can add later on some white color and to recreate this highlight. It is up to you how you wish it to do. So now finishing the last detail, last part of the bulb, and now painting the connections in between those. At this point you can finish the work. If not, and if you want to make it look more professional, what you can do, you can take some violet color and to make it light enough and to recreate some layering shadows on the surface. In this case it will look just more professional. If you wish to just to create the layering shadow, will create more depth to the work, and your Christmas card will look more interesting.
Feliz Navidad, feliz Navidad, feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, feliz Navidad, feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
So the card is done. I hope you enjoyed painting it with me. If you liked or if you have any questions regarding this, leave in the comments. I will be happy to answer your questions. And now I will proceed with the second postcard. This second postcard is very interesting one, and I also removed a part of the recording from here because it is not clearly seen on the video, but with plain water I just recreated with a bigger paintbrush the Christmas tree, and I applied a lot of water on it. Why I did it? Because I wanted to apply all the colors in wet on wet technique, or that this postcard to have the loose effect. It means that the colors start to mix one into another on a wet surface. The beauty of it is that I have applied only the basic form of the Christmas tree, and then I just add colors, and look how the colors are mixing one into another. When we apply only one color, obviously it is still not seen this beauty, but now once I start to use the second color, so first color was yellow, now I use some orange color, and the third color is green, is a red color that I use for it, and the colors mix into a really beautiful way. With this color you can see properly how it is the form of the Christmas tree that I have painted with plain water. After applying different colors for the toys that we have on the Christmas tree, I start to apply some green colors. And for the first layer I applied the olive green color, that it is more yellowish green color. If you don't have olive green, you can use green and add some yellow color into it.
Candles in the window, carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney, put up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up.
After applying olive green color, I start with simple green color. My green color is dark enough. And look how pretty is these colors when we apply it on the wet surface. The colors are mixing one into another, creating this very interesting effect. And if I want to recreate some stems of the tree to stay darker or in special dots, then I add in the space that it is dried, not only when it is wet enough. Here I used a little bit of tissue to remove the excess of water. Sometimes with loose effect, it can happen that we can have some bigger drops of water, and the paper is not drying too quick, and the colors are mixing really fast, and don't get to leave space for having this beautiful color left. I came to the end of this Christmas card, and I finished with the green color, and now with the burnt sienna I will apply for the trunk, and with raw sienna I will add the surface where this Christmas tree is placed. Let's proceed with the Christmas card number 3. Here I start with the trunk and with the stems. And for the trunk and stem I use the raw sienna color. It is darker color of ochre color, it is a little bit cooler. And then I add different green colors. On this Christmas card I will use a lot the mix of green color and brown colors. Look at your palette. If you have different brown colors, then I advise you to mix up your green colors with different brown colors to recreate this similarity with this postcard that I'm painting now. The secret here is super simple. I start the stems with one color, but meanwhile it is still wet, I follow along with a little bit the different colors. For example, I started with pure green color, and then later on I add little by little some different brown colors, and I follow along. Then I also use only green color. As well, I add some lines to recreate this bunch effect, and specifically in the middle of this Christmas tree I add more lines to recreate the more depth of this Christmas tree. And little by little I follow along and make the stems larger on the bottom than on the top. Because I mix different colors of brown with my green color, my Christmas tree has a really large palette. It is not simple green color, and it makes that the one who will watch your Christmas postcard to be catched with these different colors and to look longer and to look how these colors are mixing one into another beautifully. The painting of this postcard is coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed the process of drawing it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate and ask me. I will be happy to answer all of your questions. And let's proceed with the next Christmas postcard. For this last postcard we will need a glass or anything round that you have. You can use even a small plate if you have it. We will fill the bottom of this or the top of this glass with a green color, and I will create not one but several circles with it. Why I create several circles? If you wish you can add only one, but I used to apply more because I wanted to recreate this effect of a bunch for the wreath. And you can make it not only in green color, you can use it to work with brown color, and you will make it to look differently. After applying these round circles, what I do, I take some turquoise green, mix it with white color, and I see that the color is too light, and I use some little green color on it, and we have this kind of turquoise green color. But because of the white watercolors, it is not as contrast, it has a more pale effect, and we used to paint these leaves with this color. You can use any green color you wish. Once I finish this step, I will use my hair dryer to dry the work. With a mix of green color and olive green, I paint the stems of a pine, and I make those looking more natural by painting stem by stem and smaller leaf by smaller leaf. And all this process I do it around. For having the color prepared already, I mix it on a palette, and as far as you see, I use it straight from the palette. Very easy and very comfortable. To bring more color to the wreath, I use cadmium red color to add the berries, the typical red berries that we have on Christmas time. And I paint around several dots. I used to paint those in white spaces where we have some space. If you wish, you can paint straight on the wreath. The color will change slightly if you paint it over the green, it will turn into brown color, but on the white space it will have really beautiful red color. And obviously I use cadmium red, but you can use any red you have on your palette. And last details, after finishing my berries, I use a white tempera. White tempera compared with white watercolors is an opaque color, and we can use and apply it straight on the green color, and it will be pretty visible. If we use watercolors white, then it won't be seen. And now we paint some dots with white tempera to create more interesting effect to the wreath. And that's it. Our final postcard is done. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial and painting it with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to thumbs up for this video.